Congressional seat in our 25th district. So please give Noah a warm welcome.
Thank you, everybody. It is amazing to be here and just to see what we have witnessing here today. There is truly a political revolution going on in our country. Come on, let's go, Bernie! So, often we hear people talk today. They want our country back. Let's take our country back. Let's make America great again. Ironically, the people saying this, starting these talking points, these conversations, are the very people who not only campaigned and contributed, but stood in line to vote against their best interests for the very Congress that is responsible for the mayhem in America today. What I say we need to do is not make America great again. And as a veteran, I find that extremely offensive. It's like we didn't do enough. I think what we need to do is make Congress great again. Get in line. Get out there, like Christie said, make phone calls, support Bernie, and support congressional candidates like myself. And they're doing it in Florida. My friend Preston, who is challenging Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco. And as we know, Mr. Canova, who's challenging Debbie Wasserman Schultz in Florida. What we are going to do with that, we are going to give President Bernie Sanders a majority in the House of a progressive, forward-thinking Congress that's going to vote to pass progressive legislation, like Medicare for all, because health care should be a right, not a privilege for those who can afford it. And as I'm giving this speech, let's off to note, I am very proud to hold my Bernie Sanders sign. We also need tuition-free higher education. What we need to do is not listen to the rhetoric and the talking points that are not grounded in reality. Because what tuition-free education is, it is an investment in America. It is not an expense. And I am an example of that. The United States government taught me to be a radiology technologist. Since that education, I have paid more back in taxes from my paycheck than it cost me to get the education. So therefore, all the rhetoric is just not grounded in reality. Tuition-free education is an investment in America. We need to also make Congress great again by passing a living wage of at least $15 an hour. President Bernie Sanders will need a progressive Congress to stand behind him and pass the Rebuild America Act, which will address our crumbling infrastructure, roads, bridges, buildings, rebuild our national parks, and put people back to work. Because when people work and people have disposable income, that is the only economy that works, a bottom-up economy that is supported by people with the middle class with disposable income. We also need to address the racial injustice in our country. And I see a sign over here to my left, your right, probably, Black Lives Matter. Can I see that again? There you go. What we need to invest in education, like I said, living wage job. We need to bring economic prosperity, jobs, hope, education, and not jail disparity. Excuse me. I agree with Joe Madison, the Black Eagle. Everybody listen, he's on Urban View. What he supports, he says, is what we need to do is educate the community. We need to register the community. And we need to be active and vote as a community. We need to address climate. We need to end profit first, environment second. And lastly, we need to pass a constitutional amendment making Citizens United no more. We need to make it back to one person, one vote. Dark money does not rule anymore. Now, to make all this happen, to elect Bernie Sanders, and to elect the progressives running to support Bernie Sanders and the progressive agenda, we need your help. We cannot do it alone. We need you to educate people, to make sure your friends are registered and they know about us, and they get out there on election day and vote. Thank you very much. My name is Noah Sargent. I will be around. I have some information, and I would also encourage you to visit votenoahsargent.com, and I'm on Twitter at votenoahsargent. Thank you very much.